Now, as Christians across the world celebrate Christmas, President Bola Tinubu has sent heartfelt greetings to Christians in Nigeria and around the world. In his 2024 Christmas message, the president highlighted the significance of the season, describing it as fulfillment of divine prophecy and a symbol of love, peace, and unity. Acknowledging recent tragedies in Ibadan, Okija, and Abuja, President Tinubu expressed his deepest sympathies to the affected families and prayed for an end to such misfortunes in Nigerian communities. He urged Nigerians to embrace kindness, compassion, and solidarity, especially during this festive season. The president called on citizens to remember those in need, offering gestures of encouragement and support to uplift others during the celebrations. As Nigerian Christians join their counterparts all over the world for this year's Christmas celebrations, state governors in the country have sent out messages preaching love, peace, and unity among the people. Even as Nigerians grapple with difficult economic realities during the festivities, the governors noted that it is important to come together as a people to celebrate the joy, peace, and hope that the season brings. In his message, the governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, encouraged the people to embrace tolerance, unity, and understanding with the neighbors, no matter our differences. Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State called on Christians to use the opportunity of the festivity to pray for the state and Nigeria, and to also spread love among the people. Similarly, Governor Usman Ododo of Kogi State reminded Christians that Christmas is a time to reflect on the boundless love of God. Governor Doye Diri of Bayelsa State admonished Christians and privileged individuals to reach out to those who do not have to enable them to celebrate Christmas. And now our correspondents are standing by to give us reports on how the people are celebrating Christmas in some parts of the country. We have joining us now Amadine Uyi, who is joining us from the Federal Capital Territory. Thank you so much, Amadine, for joining us. If you can hear me. We also have Austin Azu, who will be joining us from Delta State, and of course, Omolola Ololade, who will be joining us from Lagos State. Let me start with Amadine Uyi. Amadine, what is the festivity like right there where you are?
Hello, can you come again?
So I'm just basically asking what the celebrations feel like in Abuja, the FCT.
Okay, we've been at the Transforming Church in the last few hours, where there's been a very large turnout of Christian faithful who are here to mark the Christmas celebration. But before I go on, we are with the senior pastor of the Transforming Church, Reverend Sam Oye. Let's just cross over to him. Good day, Reverend.
Greetings to you and Merry Christmas.
It was a jam-packed service,
yeah.
And Christian faithful came in droves in their numbers.
Yes.
For your church and all those who have attended, what is the significance of the Christmas celebration?
For us, the centrality of our message for today is just to remind everybody that what truly makes Christmas Christmas is the Christ in the celebration. And we were able to make those who came to worship with us realize that one of the reasons why Christ came is in order to change our hearts. Because until our heart is changed, our nation cannot change. There are no policy changes, reforms that will change a nation whose indigents have hearts that are hard. So until our hearts are changed, there is no way our nation will be changed. If we want to have a great nation, we need to have a great people. And if we're going to have a great people, then we need to have a change of heart. So the centrality of our message today is that Jesus Christ came not only to give us an event like today, but to give us a better heart.
Now, Reverend, the reality is that things are difficult. The economy, others, many we have spoken to, even within the church, they say the price of goods and services. Do you think the Christmas is worth celebrating?
Well, it's important to know that, yes, things are tough and times are hard. Again, the only hope we have in times like this, when government seems, when people have challenge with you know, the price of food and all of that. The only place where we have hope is in Christ. So we try to let people know that although things are tough, don't lose your hope, because once people lose hope, then they can get into all kinds of vices. So our focus is to make sure that we remind people that Christ has come to give us a beautiful future that is beyond what we are having today. In the midst of all of that, we try to be practical, which is why you see hundreds of people around us here today who are here to be cared for by the church. So we're not just preaching Christ, we are demonstrating Christ today. We are trying to show the people around us how much we love God. We do this every year, where we have 1,000 families come around and we provide them with food stuff just to let them know that Christ cares for them.
Now, Reverend, you talked about providing with foodstuff. We've gone around behind. We've seen bags of rice. We've seen clothes. We've seen different amenities. And then outside the church complex, before now, there were a lot of people wearing hijabs. What is the criteria? Is it just your church member or members of the community? What is the criteria to be part, to benefit from this that the church is doing?
Thank you so much. Everybody in the community here knows that we are not just a church in the community. We are a church with the community, and we do not segregate. That is why you have right even inside the church people who have their hijabs on. You must have seen one or some of them. And then those who are going to be receiving food from us, food stuff, those who are going to be receiving care and supply. We don't ask you your name. We don't ask you your tribe. We don't ask you of your religion. If you are in need, we care for you. We have taken care of our church members. We have taken care of our church workers. We did that last week. We took care of our workers last week. We made sure that we provide them with food stuff. Today is about outsiders, and it doesn't matter who you are. The Muslims in this community know that we're a church with them. We take care of the community, the schools, and the rest of that.
Thank you very much. You've heard it loud and clear from Reverend Sam Oye, the pastor of the Transforming Church in Abuja. This service has ended. They've moved on to the next phase, which is now reaching out to those in the community, in the surrounding communities, with the lodges, rice, and others, so that they can duly celebrate the Christmas celebration.
For the update on the Christmas celebration in the FCT. We'll definitely be looking back to the FCT to see how the celebrations turned out. Now, let's cross over to Delta State, where we have our correspondent, also Austin Azu, who will be giving us information, filling us in on how the celebrations are going over there in Delta State. Good morning, Austin. How are the celebrations going there?
Good day to you. Of course, the Christmas celebration here in Delta State is not quite different from what is happening in other parts of Nigeria. But however, about a few minutes ago, we are currently at Benekukuru community in Gbaramatu Kingdom in Warri Southwest local government area. A few minutes ago, the community came out and they offered prayers to God to begin the Christmas Day celebration. And not only that, they had a procession to mark the event here. And this event is called Benekukuru Carnival. But meanwhile, we'll have some respondents who are here to share more light and talk to us about how they feel about this year's Christmas and what they're experiencing. Please, let's meet you, your name and your designation.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Mrs. Happy. My name is Mrs. Happy. I'm not from this Agbaramatu, but the little time I leave this place, I'm very happy the way they treat strangers. So they take everybody as the same family, one. And yeah, we hear say as this young president.
Okay, tell us, this year's Christmas, what were the things that you were able to do? Were you able to buy chicken? Were you able to buy rice? Did you able to provide those things for your family?
No. But thank God, this general rich Matthew, he provided. So that's why I'm happy that food is food is not problem once you come to Benekukuru.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. All right. Okay. just tell us, what are the things you are expecting today from this place?
Today I expecting bag, I expecting many things, food, many things, rice, chicken, everything. We have received many things, the community.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, yes.
All right, okay, sir, just briefly tell us, what are you going to experience today? What are your expectations?
No,
First place, why are you here?
I'm here because of Benikuru Hanwa Carnival. We're expecting nothing but fun. Here we come here to enjoy ourselves. People that we have never interacted with. Some of them are coming from far, all the way from Lagos, Abuja. We interact with them, especially the actors and actress and the musician. Also, I'm a celebrity also. I'm a musician. My name is Miazinta David, the leader of Evergreen Entertainment. Okay. White Money.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, you have heard from the respondents for what they have said so far. They are here at the Benikuru Carnival for them to catch fun, for them to connect with their family members. And not only that, the Benikuru Carnival, from what we learned, started about some years ago, and this is the 19th edition from what we gathered so far. And behind me, you can see the various boats that are coming in from. Some are coming in from Bayelsa, some are coming from rivers, some are coming in from within Delta here, and of course we have to ferry through the river about 1 hour 30 minutes for us to get to this place. And in a short while you'll be seeing who and who in the entertainment industry that will be coming here to spice up the carnival here, and everyone is looking forward to see this year's carnival.
Azu for the update from Delta State, and I like the excitement that the people are speaking with, but definitely we'll come back to you in no time. Let's now cross over to Omolola Olade, who is our correspondent right here in Lagos State, who is on standby to also give us the look and feel of how Christmas is in Lagos. Omolola, good day. What is the mood like in Lagos? All right, we'll be joining Omolola back while we can resolve the slight issue there. But I did mention that the Pope Francis will be speaking very shortly, given his... All right, that was the speech by the Pope. We'll go back to Lagos, where Omolola is on standby to give us the details of the celebration. Omolola, if you can hear me, what is the mood like in Lagos? Unfortunately, we still can't get Omolola's crispy, clear audio, so we'll go back to her in no time. But in the meantime, Namibia, a predominantly Christian nation, is setting aside political tensions from this year's presidential election to embrace the festive season with joy and unity. Families are coming together to celebrate the true spirit of Christmas, with streets illuminated by dazzling lights and carols echoing in shopping centers. In this culturally diverse nation, communities are marking the holiday in their own unique ways. The Oshiwambo, Zambezi, Herero, German, Dutch, and English communities are all coming together, showcasing Namibia's unity and rich cultural tapestry during this special time of year. And now joining us live to discuss the significance of these celebrations is Weni Kandanga, an African liberty writer. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hello, how are you?
I'm great. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas, ma'am.
All right, very quickly, how do you think that the cultural diversity in Namibia contributes to the unique Christmas celebrations in the country? I mean, all those names I mentioned, all those cultures I mentioned coming together to celebrate, that must be a big deal.
It is a big deal, and I feel like it allows us to see into each other's cultures and spend time with each other and learn about each other's cultures, because everyone celebrates it differently, and we all have different customs and different ways of preparing food and what we do, the festivities. Some cultures don't exchange gifts, other cultures exchange gifts and things like that. So, and then some cultures travel, other cultures, come together in Windhoek, others go to the north or to the south, like, traveling kilometers to go meet with family. So I feel like the diversity is amazing, because you get to learn and see how different people celebrate, and then you can even participate in those celebrations.
Right. Can you describe how your community celebrates Christmas and what traditions are unique to your culture, for example?
Yes, I can. So I'm from the Oshiraro culture, And basically, we do like, I think, a whole week of preparation, if I'm being honest, because we are one of those people who travel like kilometers to go to our homesteads, like to the village and everything, and the entire family gathers there at the end of the year. Sometimes we even have weddings so that everyone can gather, and we just do a whole big celebration that will last at least a week or two, up from like maybe the 20th up until New Year's. And it's just like eating meat, slaughtering cattle, sheep, everything that you can think of. And it's just like it's filled with food and joy and stories and catching up with relatives that you haven't seen all year or in a long time. So yeah.
Right. And what role do you think Christmas plays in promoting the unity and cultural exchange among the different communities there?
I think Christmas is a time when we can all like relax and set aside our differences and come together to celebrate. And I feel like it does play a good role in allowing us to just be peaceful and easygoing and just socialize with each other and embrace each other's differences. And yeah, I think that's very valuable, because even though we are like a peaceful nation, it's just great if we can all come together to celebrate this one thing, you know. So yeah, I like that we can all just get into the festive season, into the festive mode, and just cheer on each other and, you know, just spread the joy, exchange gifts, help the needy, donations, and everything. So
Right. So what is your plan for the rest of the day, personally?
well, I'm still going to. I'm going back to the kitchen. I'm not done cooking. I was because I'm like the one that's in charge of the food at home here. So yeah, I did the breakfast already. Now I'll prepare lunch, and then later I'll prepare dinner. But basically, there's no rest for me. I'll just be eating and cooking at the same time, just making sure that everyone else is fed and taken care of.
Okay, I hope you extend some of the delicacies to us here in the studio. Thank you so much for joining us, Weni Kandanga, African Liberty writer, and Merry Christmas to you. Do enjoy the rest of your day.
Merry Christmas.
All right, again, we're going to Omolola, who's on standby to give us the update on how the Christmas has been celebrated here in Lagos, Nigeria. Omolola, can you hear me? All right, Omola, if you can hear me, can you let us know what the look and feel is in Lagos, Nigeria?
Hi, Adebola. The mood in Lagos, you could say, is a mixed one. Talking about people celebrating. Yeah, the mood is a celebratory one, but not as celebratory as it used to be. Let's say 2-3 years ago. We are here in the heart of Lagos mainland to be precise, in Alausa, and one of the major fun places here in Lagos, talking about the Ikeja City Mall in Alausa. And this place is one place that used to be full. It used to be full to the brim. You have a lot of people trooping in. But before the interview, I did, go in, and I didn't find a lot of people. It was just scanty, people here and there, just a few places. Not like the usual numbers, people in large numbers, the way we used to have it back, back, say 2-3 years ago. So I don't know, maybe we could attribute it to the present economic situation. But on the other hand, I think maybe because the day is young, people are still coming, because compared to when we came here, there are a lot of people coming in now with their children. What you find in majorly are parents, people coming in with their children just to have fun. My previous report, I did mention that parents are trying to shun what you can call, Christmas parties for their kids in their schools. And now they did promise them that they're not going to pay for their Christmas parties. They're going to be bringing them to fun places like what we have here in Ikeja City Mall. So I'll say maybe parents are trying to fulfill that part of their bargain, bringing their kids to places like Ikeja City Mall like we have today.
Right, but we also hear that there's an influx of people from all over the world into Nigeria, as though there was a memo of, Dirty December. Have you seen the IJGBs? Have you seen an influx of people that are typically not in Nigeria this period, or is it just, it's restricted to a certain area?
Well, talking about IJGBs back in Lagos, to dirty their Decembers, I'll say that yes, maybe some of them have, because yesterday when we did, when we went out to some of the parks, we saw some cars, and with the way they drove, I could tell that these are some of the IJGBs back in Lagos, really. I was telling the camera operator that, trust me, this is one of the IJGBs. But, you know, here it's more of a, what you would call, not really an amusement park, a major place for kids. Let me put it that way. Of course, you have adults, but you have more of kids here in Uganda City Mall. So we might not find those kind of people here. Maybe if you go to places like the beach or, you know, other fun places on the island, on Lagos Island, we can get more of those IJGBs who are ready to dirty that. And of course, that would also be part of the nightlife in Lagos. So not necessarily now, we might not see them now, but if you're out at night, then we can get to see most of those people who you call IJGBs back in Lagos. But one of the things I'd also like to add is, you know, the roads. Coming to the office, getting here was really, really stress-free. So I'd say that a lot of people might be staying back in their home to celebrate Christmas because the roads are free. And then, you know, some people have also traveled. And Lagos is quite free today. The roads are really less busy compared to what we used to have. Because just yesterday night, it looked like we had the whole of Nigeria, or even, you know, the IJGBs in Lagos, because we had heavy traffic. Yeah. But now you can see the roads are quite free, seamless, no traffic, people just moving at their pace.
All right. Well, I would say that I do agree with that.
You know, celebrate in Lagos the 30th December, but not at this time.
I would say I do agree with the traffic, the lessening traffic situation. And well, anyways, it's a season of love, joy, and spreading happiness. So we hope that more people come out and enjoy themselves, especially the kids in that region. We go on a short break now. You're still live with us on the news. When we come back, we've got more stories. Stay with us. All right, many thanks for staying with us on the news. It's still Christmas, and we're still talking about the festive period. The surge in prices of essential food items have plunged millions of Nigerians into a serious food affordability crisis. The increasing cost poses significant challenges for many families in terms of their economic stability and their social well-being. Staple foods, fruits, and vegetables become increasingly unaffordable. The festive spirit is overshadowed by reduced purchasing power, and this further exacerbating the country's existing commercial challenges facing many. News Central's business correspondent Juliet Rowland compiled this report.
The prices of staple foods have skyrocketed significantly. Other food items like cassava flax, popularly called gari, and plantain have also experienced considerable price increases. For instance, a yam seller noted that the cost for 100 small yams has risen from less than 200,000 naira to north of 300,000 naira in a matter of months, while individual tubers that used to cost 2,000 naira this time last year are now priced between 4,000 to 4,500 naira or even above. Abiodun Abimboye, a live chicken seller, mentioned that his chickens are sold by weight. As such, old layers are now sold between 8,500 naira from an earlier selling price of 5,000 to 6,000 naira, while broilers are now sold between 20,000 to 30,000 naira from a previous selling price of 10,000 naira to 15,000 naira. Additionally, Toyin Bankole, a plantain seller, reported that the price of plantain has surged from 2,000 to 2,500 naira to 4,000 to 4,500 naira. Furthermore, a bag of gari, which was once 45,000 naira, is now 47,000 naira.
Rice, who they say rice, 105. The long one, the short green one, they said 90,000. Beans, 180,000. Before no pass 80, 90, 65, 60.
Like formerly, we used to buy a basket of tomato at 42,000, but right now it's 65 to 70,000. The number of onions, you have a basin of onions as at 20,000 as at last month, but right now, like today, we bought it at 48,000.
They were selling a basket around 35, very solid one, 30, 35, but today a basket was just 65, 70.
The rising food prices are taking a significant toll on Nigerians, forcing many into severe financial strain. At the same time, sellers are feeling the impact, facing declining sales and reduced customer turnout. Some sellers attribute these challenges to rising transportation costs and the effects of the festive season.
Me personally, I don't even know how other people are feeding, because the hike in price is affecting buyers and sellers as well.
Chicken now is 25,000.
If you buy chicken, you're not going to buy pepper. You buy pepper now.
Starting from 55, some sell them 45. If you get extra, but if you good, reach down, some sell 50, 55. It's because of Christmas and make it cost.
Amid economic challenges, many Nigerians face tough choices and are forced to prioritize essential purchases for survival as prices continue to soar. The festive season, traditionally a time of joy, is overshadowed by financial strain for millions. The relentless price hikes not only dampen celebrations but also highlight a deepening crisis that leaves families grappling with basic expenses. This troubling trend raises pressing questions about the future. Will the festive period repeatedly bring hardship, or can government intervention stabilize prices and provide relief to struggling citizens? As Nigeria navigates these challenges, the need for decisive policy action to curb inflation and protect livelihoods has never been more urgent.
Now, Borno State Governor Babangana Zulum has urged the federal government to hasten reconstruction of Alau Dam following its collapse and subsequent flooding of Maiduguri and other local council areas in the state. This was when the committee set up to assess the extent of the damages at the Alau Dam and to propose solutions submitted its findings to the governor at the Government House in Maiduguri. News Central's Umoru Kirawa completes the report.
It is nearly 4 months before the next rainy season sets in Nigeria's northeast state of Borno. The severe flooding that followed the collapse of Alau Dam on September 10, 2024, in the state left about 2 million persons displaced and many lives lost, in addition to destruction of infrastructure. The dam still has not been repaired. Now, the Alau Dam Assessment Committee presents its report to the Borno State Governor.
The preparation of this report was conducted in collaboration with the National Committee for the Assessment of the Integrity of all Dams in Nigeria. We collected extensive data, reviewed maintenance records, and examined the dam design and construction.
According to the committee's report, the dam's structural failure has had far-reaching consequences, which requires both short-term fixes and long-term preventive measures.
In the next few days, we shall also see what can we do on our part. We shall push this matter to the latter. I will tell you that if nothing is being done immediately, I will immediately go and see Mr. President to see how Northeast Development Commission will immediately come into action and see those companies that are on ground in Borno State that have the capacity to immediately mobilize to sites. Because if we decided to wait for the bureaucracy, I don't think we can start this project in earnest.
The dam's integrity had been compromised due to prolonged neglect and the impact of recent heavy rains. As such, it is said to require a complete overhaul of its structural components alongside improved flood control measures to safeguard the city of Maiduguri.
So I want to assure our teaming populace that we are going to put our hands on deck to ensure that we represent them in the Senate of the Federal Republic, and we are going to ensure that whatever that is due for them, we'll fight for them and bring it to their doorsteps.
The urgency for the rehabilitation of the Alau Dam cannot be overstated, as experts say a lack of timely action will likely lead to a reoccurrence of the sad events of 10 September. In Maiduguri for News Central, Umoru Kirawa.
Now, the people of Ebem Ohafia community in Ohafia local government area of Abia State disrupted flow of traffic on Ohafia Road following a fatal accident that occurred on Sunday at the Monri Hill. They are demanding that the authorities restrict heavy-duty vehicles from using the road for now. The community also asked the government to put the road in order rather than send condolences. News Central's Chinwe Ugeli reports that the accident claimed at least 6 lives.
The full-loaded Sharon vehicle had just left the motor park in Ebemo, headed to Umuahia, but got involved in an accident at the Muri Hill with a Dangote trailer loaded with chippings. All passengers were said to have been trapped in the car when the trailer fell on it. An eyewitness narrates the incident.
So yeah, actually, the other one we came back on us. That time on the nature, truck, Dangote truck, ubuni chippings, never said. So yeah, fell a break. So the Sharon.
Hurt by the development, the community youth on Monday, December 23, briefly barricaded the spot of the tragedy, refusing passage of vehicles.
This is a death trap. And because of the bad road, you have to break a body. Biakwa moto, biakwa siana loduro ya no ya. Kwa ya rinka so siana to haria. Face the other side. Bunani mado 7.
Nigga Luyelu, I flag labor up. I don't pay immediately. I'll turn on wall. You know.
Now, it's been over 4 years since the reconstruction began, yet work has stalled on the road and commuters have had to pay the heavy price of loss of lives at one point or the other.
Had it been the road is more terrible, at least that vehicle, that trailer, wouldn't have met him at that spot.
The 44 kilometers Umuahia Road was awarded for reconstruction some 4 years ago by the federal government.
It's quite unfortunate that with all this happening, nobody has ever come to our aid. And I believe this will be a turnaround to see that this road comes back to life and people start enjoying this infrastructure, because it's worth having as a people of this community. We demand to have a very good road.
Because
the state government has issued a press statement confirming the death of 6 and commiserating with the families of the deceased. However, the paramount ruler of the Ezogo Ebemo community, His Royal Highness Eze Okonha Kalo Okonha, says the community could care less about the condolences.
Besides, our deputy governor uses that road almost daily. And that is why I said it is very sad, because this could have been avoided. And it's not what the people want. The people want the lives of the people. Look at, people have saved lost lives, and you're sending them condolence messages. You won't go and fix that thing.
It has been established that some lives were actually lost. But basically what the people are talking about is that the government should hasten up the reconstruction of this road so that the number of accidents and casualties that are recorded on this road will be mitigated. In Ohofia, for News Central, I am Chinwe Ugele.
Many thanks for staying with us on the news. Now, the opposition party, Podemos, has rejected the outcome of Mozambique's October 9 presidential election following its confirmation by the country's highest court. The court upheld the victory of the ruling Frelimo party, which has been in power since 1975, a decision that has already sparked weeks of unrest. Speaking at a press conference, Podemos party president Albino Forhilha stated firmly that the party neither recognizes nor accepts the election results validated by the Functional Council. Forhia's declaration comes amid reports from several international observer missions which flagged irregularities during the electoral process, raising questions about the credibility of the vote.
O Partido Podemos não reconhece e nem aceita em absoluto os resultados eleitorais validados e proclamados pelo Conselho Nacional. Consideramos como razão de fundo para a não aceitação dos mesmos resultados a falta de transparência, a integridade, profissionalismo, responsabilidade dos órgãos de gestão da Comissão Eleitoral, em última instância, o Conselho Constitucional. O Conselho Constitucional fechou olhos perante esta verdade porque a Frelimo sairia a perder. De agora em diante, o Podemos, em nome da justiça e da pátria, pertence genuína dos moçambicanos e ainda o seu conceito de ator político sério vai continuar a sua luta ao lado deste povo oprimido, discriminado, perseguido, empobrecido e assassinado, através de meios políticos, diplomáticos e judiciais, este último usando canais nacionais e internacionais possíveis contra os infratores.
Now to stories outside the African continent. Catholics in Indonesia's Aceh have held Christmas Eve Mass in Banda Aceh ahead of the 20th anniversary of the Indian Ocean tsunami, which killed over 150,000 people in the country. Held at the Sacred Heart Catholic Church, the province's only Catholic church, the service featured candlelight and pipe organ music. Built nearly a century ago by the Dutch, the church stands in Aceh, Indonesia's sole province under strict Islamic Sharia law. Next week, survivors and victims' relatives will commemorate the 2004 tsunami triggered by a 9.1 magnitude earthquake off Sumatra. It caused massive waves, devastating over a dozen countries and killing 226,408 people, with Indonesia's northern Sumatra hit hardest. More than 120,000 lives were lost in this region alone.
Sangat berbaur dengan masyarakat sekitar. Nah, meskipun Aceh dengan kondisi regulasi yang mengatur Aceh harus dikelola secara syariat Islam, tapi kami, orang Katolik, tidak terganggu sedikit pun dalam kapasitas kecil, tapi sungguh dihargai. Ibadat saya tiap hari Minggu, perayaan-perayaan besar seperti ini berlangsung dengan baik, tanpa ada gangguan, tanpa ada katakanlah penolakan dari masyarakat sekitar. Dan ini membuat kami semakin merasa enjoyable.
Bagaimana relasi dengan sesama masyarakat yang beragama berbeda, ya tidak menemukan kesulitan bagi kami. Sejauh ini kehidupan di sini tentang beragama ya bisa dibilang masih sangat-sangat baik. Setiap tanggal 26 Desember kita akan merayakan perayaan Ekaristi. Perayaan Ekaristi.
And now to sports. The Ghana Football Association, GFA, is set to decide the fate of Black Stars head coach Otto Addo and his technical team after Ghana's failure to qualify for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations, AFCON. GFA Communications Director Henry Asante Twum confirmed consultations with stakeholders, including the Ministry of Sports, having concluded with recommendations now before the GFA Executive Committee. Otto Addo has come under heavy criticism following Ghana's dismal AFCON qualifying campaign, one of the team's worst in years. As the Black Stars prepare for the FIFA World Cup 2026 qualifiers against Chad and Madagascar in March 2025, the GFA's decision will be pivotal to the team's rebuilding efforts and aspirations to regain their former glory. Still in sports, Uganda's under-17 national football team, the Cubs, have secured qualification for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations with a commanding 4-1 win over Somalia in the CECAFA Zonal Qualifiers semi-finals at Ham Stadium, Nakivubo. Star forward James Bugari stole the show with a stunning hat-trick, while Abubakali Walusimbi sealed the victory with a fourth goal. The Cubs now turned their focus to the 2024 CECAFA Under-17 tournament final, where they will face Tanzania in an anticipated showdown on Friday, December 27 at the same venue. This triumph highlights Uganda's rising dominance in youth football as they aim to clinch regional glory and prepare for the continental stage. Now, Miami Heat guard Drew Smith will miss the remainder of the 2024-2025 season after tearing his Achilles tendon during the team's win against the Brooklyn Nets on Monday. Now, Smith, who was shortly back after recovering from a torn ACL, that he suffered while part of the Heat's G League squad has now endured another season-ending injury. Now, Smith was averaging 6.3 points, 1.6 assists, and 2.6 rebounds in 14 games this season for the Heat. Now, he was shooting a career-high 50.8% from the field and 53.3% from beyond the arc. And that's all on the news at this hour. But before we go, let's take another look at some of our major stories. We said that Christians all over the world celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. We also mentioned Nigerians mark low-key Christmas in the face of high costs of goods and services. And finally, we told you that another opposition in Mozambique has rejected presidential election results. You can watch News Central live on DSTV, channel 422, StarTimes, channel 274, Avo TV, and YouTube. Many thanks for watching. I'm Blessings Osugu.